Hello again, everyone. Are you okay? Second time today for some of you. Some of you will have been in my live this afternoon over on Michelle After Dark, where I went over the Michael Vaughan case. But in this live, we are focusing on the murder, the horrific murder of Olivia Pratt-Korbel. So if you're new to this case, I'll just do a very, very quick overview of what happened, but then I'm going to get straight into the latest news. If you look in the description box of this video, I've got the sources that I'm using today, but I've also left the sources in that I used in the last live, where I talked about organised crimes and the gangs, and I named some names of the gang that's responsible for, not for Olivia's murder, but for the revenge element of it. So let's see who's in the house. Yeah, so go and check out all those sources. If you've not heard me talk about this case before, then yeah, some bits of reading for you. Hi JD, Magic Lady, both of whom have been waiting for me from quite some time by the looks of the time on your posts there. Hi Dorothy from Florida. Instagrammer, oh my gosh, another child, I know. Yeah, yet another child. Hi Irene, twice in a day, I know. It's becoming like a regular occurrence, this, isn't it? Twice in a day. It's like, it's not going to continue, I promise you. It's just that there's a lot going on. I can't keep up this momentum like for forever. I really can't. But I had a nice quiet day yesterday. I just made one video, which seemed like a rest. Like the amount of work I've done this week is insane. I know, Instagrammer, how could anyone harm these beautiful children? Well, this in this case, it's organised crime. And they don't care who they hurt, quite frankly. Hi, Denise from County Durham. Oh, in my country. Shannon's Copper from British Columbia, Canada. Nana's, I can't say your name. Nano something or other. Hello, Caroline. Coffee Bar Lady. Mommy. Who else have we got in here? Oh, the chat's just jumped. Sue Badoo. Sandy Electric. Hey. Petunia, Boulder, Colorado. Trixie Star. Hi, Trixie. Trixie's here to mod, so behave. Brenda Phillips, Momsamore68 from Denmark. Dawn, Jean, Castlewood, Virginia. Castlewood, Virginia. Wow, we're getting all sorts of people in. Italy, wow. Let's have a look. Nana, Diane, Pamela from North Carolina. Mary Jane, there's a lot going on. I know. And this chat's pretty quiet tonight. So I know this is a UK case, so not as many people are interested in it. But it is a quiet chat tonight. So I'm guessing that there's other lives going on at the same time, because there's so much going on. Like so many different cases going on. Le Petit Osseo. Some of these names I just can't pronounce, I'm afraid. Vegan Firefly, hello. Vegan Claire, hello. Cat Lover 33, hello. 2 vegans in a row, yeah. Yeah, we're all over, aren't we? Can't get rid of us. Can't get rid of us. Tarakita from Tennessee. Charlotte from Denmark. Winter Bricker from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello. Cat Lover from East Tennessee. Kelly from North Carolina. Who else? I think that's it. Duty Ron just ended. Oh, has Duty Ron been on? Okay. I'll go and check that out later. Find somewhere else. Yeah, let's find somewhere else. Let's definitely find somewhere else. But there's a whole lot more going on than poor little somewhere else. Venetrol, Little Rock, Arkansas. Ah, you know Olivia's dad? Oh, but he's absolutely devastated. It's awful. It's awful. These guys have got to get caught. They really do. They really do. Hi, Isabel, Mary Jane, Tessa from Bolivia. No, Bavaria. I think I said Bolivia then. That's in South America, isn't it? Bavaria, Germany. Wow. Okay, right. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, Olivia Pratt-Korbel was a little 9-year-old girl who was gunned down in her own home on Monday night, so 6 days ago. She was getting ready for bed. It was about 10 p.m. So it's the summer holidays here in the UK. So, you know, kids stay up a little bit later. And she was getting ready for bed. And there was some commotion, some gunshots, like outside. So her mother, Cheryl, opened the door. And she must be regretting that like you would not believe. My heart goes out to her. How was she to know? Anyway, this man called Joseph Nee ran in. He was being chased by a masked gunman dressed all in black with a black balaclava. So just his eyes showing like a balaclava, like a ski mask. So Joseph Nee saw the door open and ran in for protection because he's a coward, right? And then this gunman barged in after Joseph, shot Joseph. Obviously, there was a hit out on Joseph. This is big business, organised crime. And I've got some more information about just how big this is coming today. Like people in the chat the other day when I talked about £1 million worth of cocaine being stolen, and this is what sparked this latest spate of revenge attacks. People were like, £1 million worth of cocaine. Yeah, that's small fry compared to the figures I'm going to show you today. This is big business that unfortunately little Olivia has been caught up in. So this gunman who had there was a hit out on Joseph Nee, who'd been connected to a group of organised crime people who had stolen $1 million or £1 million of cocaine from another rival gang, like in 2020. And some of those guys have been caught and sent down. Anyway, Joseph Nee was shot. Olivia's mum was shot. And Olivia, unfortunately, took a bullet to the chest. Joseph Nee escaped, and the gunman both escaped. Joseph Nee was picked up in a black Audi by a friend and taken to hospital, leaving little Olivia dying on her stairs, bleeding out on her stairs. Police arrived and took her to Alderhay Hospital, which is one of the UK's finest children's hospitals, which is very close to Olivia's house. They couldn't save her though, and she died. So this is a murder inquiry. Her mum, Cheryl, was shot, but she's okay. I mean, obviously not, because she's absolutely devastated. But in terms of her physical injuries, the gun wound was relatively superficial. So she's out of hospital now. Joseph Nee is in hospital with his gunshot wound. Once his treatment is finished, he's going to jail, because Joseph Nee he was out on on parole, out on license. So he's out, he's been released from prison. Like he's done a lot of stuff, like burglary, dangerous driving, all sorts of stuff, right? Drug dealing. So he was out of jail, out on license. So it's license is like being out on parole, and the judge sets like special conditions. So one of the special conditions he had was that he had to behave himself. But obviously he's not been behaving himself because he's embroiled in this drug feud. So yeah, he's going to jail. Now, Thursday, which was I think the last time I did a live on this, a 36-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of the murder of Olivia Pratt-Korbel. And then the day after that, Friday, another man, a 33-year-old man, was also arrested. The 36-year-old is from a suburb of Liverpool called Huyton. And the 33-year-old was from Dovecot, which is another suburb of Liverpool, which is where Olivia lived. Now, they've both been released on bail. Let me share my screen because we'll get into these. So the two men who were arrested on suspicion of murder have been released on bail. However, it's not quite that simple, because one of the men, the 36-year-old, he was bailed and then he was sent back straight to jail. So, sent to jail without passing go, without collecting $200. He was going straight back to jail because he was also out on license. So they've got Joseph Nee and they've got this man who's been arrested on suspicion of murder. Now, clearly, they don't have enough on these two guys to charge them. And that's why they've been released on bail. But these are just the foot soldiers. So what I think Merseyside police are doing is shaking the tree. That anybody who's sent out with a gun, right, to shoot someone else, like the hitman, is not a gang boss, right, guys? Not a gang boss. They don't send the gang bosses. The gang bosses sit in their villas in Spain or Portugal. They don't do the work, right? They just reap the rewards. They don't do the work. So these are foot soldiers. So the police are well aware, as we'll see, of who these gangs are. Talked about the other day. Some of the people have been rounded up. What the police really want is to get to the head of the snake and get to the bosses. But that's easier said than done. So what they've got to do is pick them off one at a time. So the fact that Joseph Nee has been out on license, and this 36-year-old man who I still don't have a name for. I've got an address, but I don't. Well, I've got a street name, but I don't have a name. So what I need is a name. Cynthia, thank you for the $2. Be very careful of those guys when you are out. Yeah, don't worry about me. Pow pow. Don't worry about me, really. I'd rather add. I'm 28 miles away from Olivia's door. This is on my doorstep almost. So people are concerned about me, but honestly, I'm fine. Okay, so yeah, if anybody's got a name of this 36-year-old, that would be useful. I'm not too concerned about this dude here, this 33-year-old. This 36-year-old's the one I'm interested in. But I'll have his name as well. So I've got a street name for this dude here, this 36-year-old, but not for the 33-year-old. Okay, so next piece. All right, so this is just a little bit of interest. that what seems to be happening is now the police are sniffing around. Now the police are really gunning for these guys, pun intended. The gang bosses, the kingpins, the drug kingpins are fleeing to their villas because all these guys, right, these guys are multimillionaires. And they have villas in Spain, Portugal, Turkey, the Mediterranean, and they're fleeing. They're fleeing like rats sinking, deserting a sinking ship. However, they can run their operation from anywhere in the world. It's not quite as easy for them now as it was, because as I discussed the other day, there was like a secret chat function that these guys were using called Encrochat, right? Which is like, I don't know, like a chat function, like a dark web chat function. And traffickers all over Europe were using Encrochat to communicate. But the police cracked Encrochat, which is what led to the arrest and conviction of some of the guys who were already in jail from these gangs. So it's a little bit harder for them now, but I'm sure they've got other ways to communicate. You know, these guys always stay one step ahead, don't they? Do I have an address checker in the UK? I've got an address here. So, yeah, we do. It's called the Electoral Register. But I doubt that these guys are going to be registered. I doubt these guys are going to be on the Electoral Register. So, yeah, that's not really worth it. Okay, so they're fleeing. Experts believe that criminals will be rushing around to export drugs and weapons out of Liverpool following a series of raids. So how do they do this? It's because they have fronting companies. So they run security firms, trucking companies. They have a lot of business people, very rich business people in their back pocket. So this is how they import and export drugs, weapons, and humans. Right? This is massive business, big business. So the 36-year-old man lives in Birkdale Court. It's an apartment block in Huyton. So if you're in the area of Birkdale Court, how many people live there? And yeah, let's get some names. And then we've got Lunsford Road near Dovecot, which is the 33-year-old man. Now, he's been bailed. Now, I'm assuming, because it doesn't say anywhere, I'm assuming he is out on bail, like genuinely out on bail, because they couldn't keep him. Like this guy, the 36-year-old, he's gone straight to jail again. So the 33-year-old, maybe they didn't have anything on him, which is a shame. So yeah. So that's that. Now for the interesting part. The interesting part is this. Okay. Where's it gone? Okay. So we got some more names here. Trying to make this bigger. I'll read it, but I'm just trying to make it bigger for anybody who wants to read along. It reminds me of the UK show Marcella. I've never watched it, honestly. Boat transport. Yeah, they use boats, yeah. But they use ferries. So they use trucking companies and either go through, a lot of them go through the tunnel, the Eurotunnel. It's called the Channel Tunnel. So there's a tunnel that you can drive through between Dover, down the bottom of Kent, and Calais in France. It's only 20 miles between Dover and Calais. So a lot of the trucks that come and go from the UK to mainland Europe go via the Channel Tunnel. But yeah, there's some boat transport, but usually it's through the Channel Tunnel. We can't do that, Isabel. We don't have those types of mailboxes that you have in America. We don't have mailboxes. We have letterboxes. So in your front door, there's like a little opening that letters go through, called a letterbox. So the postman delivers the letters and shoves them through your door. So, yeah. And yeah, absolutely, they won't pay council tax. Well, if they do, they'll be using all sorts of fake, like they won't be registered at that address. It'll be registered as someone else's address. Some front will be operating. So they'll probably be paying council tax, but not them, if you will. Are arrest records public there in the UK? No, they're not. You can't get arrest records like you can in America. Let's have a look. Yeah, her condition's fine. She's been released from hospital, Olivia's mother. She's out of hospital now. Okay, right. Let's get into this. So, Liverpool has been one of the biggest cities, biggest problems for gun crime, like historically, and for organised crime. But we have organised crime in every city in the UK. So Liverpool is not an exception. But it just seems to be that it attracts, it's attracted a very diverse population, somewhat transitory population, and it's a shame because it's a great city full of great people, and it's been marred by gun violence. And in the 1980s, Liverpool was in the grip of organised crime, or certain parts of Liverpool, because Liverpool city centre, you've got Liverpool city centre, and then you've got all the suburbs. So Dovecot, where Olivia lives, is to the east, so it's closer to me than Liverpool city centre. Liverpool city centre is right on the coast. You've got Huyton, you've got all sorts of different kind of suburbs, right? So it was places like Croxteth that were bad, but a lot of it was cleaned up. Like the Merseyside police really kind of got a handle, to some extent at least, as well as any other city, I guess, on organised crime. And places like Dovecot weren't really hubs for it, right? Places like Dovecot were relatively safe. Just, respectable people going about their everyday lives. They didn't see crime on a day-to-day basis. But in the last few months, they've seen an increase of crime, an increase of antisocial behaviour. And so much so that people are now scared. So they've got an increase in police on the streets. But the problem isn't antisocial behaviour from youngsters, to be quite honest. right? Things like that this woman's complaining about here, like broken drain pipes and things like that. You know, somebody smashed the drain. That's just small fry compared to what's really going on. This kind of thing, this kind of antisocial behavior is a distraction. And it's an intentional distraction, right? It's to keep the police busy. It's to keep people scared. It's to stop people asking questions. It's to let everybody know that there's crime in the area. And it's just a distraction. That's all. Lisa says gun crimes because it's a large port city. Yeah, but it's not really a major port. Like the major ports are in the south because it used to be a major port. Like Liverpool developed due to shipping, the shipping industry in the 18th and 19th centuries, when boats would leave Liverpool and get a straight run across to America and Canada, because Liverpool's on the west coast. So it's not a major port anymore. The south, the major ports that link to mainland Europe are in the south. But anyway, so the things that the locals are seeing are valid, but they are a distraction. So, all right, so parents have stopped sending their children to play outside. 2 weeks before Olivia was killed, there was a drive-by shooting in a playground a few hundred yards away. Locals believe the incidents may be linked. So there's gangs on the streets willing to play shoot 'em up. So one of the problems is there's a power struggle going on between the rival gangs in the area. So we talked about this the other day. Joseph Nee, the man who was the intended victim of the bullet that killed Olivia, is linked to the gang that stole £100 worth of cocaine from a house in Huyton in 2020. And presumably, you know, you can't ring up, you know, if you get £1 million worth of anything stolen, you want it back, don't you? But when it's cocaine or something, you know, something illegal, you can't ring up the cops and say, look, I've just had £1 million stolen. Can you come round? Because, you know, I want something done about this. Can't do that, can you? So you take out your own level of justice. So there's been a spate of revenge attacks against the gang members of this gang that stole this cocaine. And as I said, the police cracked the chat function that they were using, Encrochat. The police cracked that, and some of these gang members have gone down. Anyway, Dovecot and Knotty Ash, which are suburbs next to each other, are next to Knowsley, and the power base of the Huyton crew. So the Huyton crew is one gang, right? They need to work on the PR, they need to work on the name, and they need to work on the branding. Huyton crew just sounds very childish to me. They need a better name. I don't know. Any suggestions, please? I'm being flippant, but yeah. So the Huyton crew, they were the gang in charge in the area. They were controlling most of the West Coast. So Liverpool, all the way, like up and down the West Coast. They were the ones who were supplying drugs and supplying guns. We'll talk about guns again in a minute. So these guys were the leaders. However, a problem hit the Huyton crew because someone called Curtis, his nickname was Cocky. I don't know why. I'd have given him a nickname of Freckles, but that's just me. Anyway, Curtis Warren was a notorious drug baron in Liverpool who actually made the Sunday Times rich list. So every year, the Times newspaper runs like, who's the richest people in Britain? And usually it's people like the royal family or, really, really rich people. But this guy, Curtis Warren, made the Sunday Times rich list as a drug baron. Right? That's his job, drug baron. And so he had an estimated fortune of £40 million in 1998. Right, so £40 million in 1998 was a lot of money. It's a lot of money now, but it was even more money then. Mainly, he'd keep his money in property. However, in the late 1990s, he was sentenced to 12 years in prison for trying to move £125 million worth of drugs, right? So you guys the other day thought that £1 million worth of cocaine was a lot. Well, this guy isn't dealing in mere millions. He's dealing in hundreds of millions of pounds worth of drugs. So he got caught moving £125 million worth of drugs from the Netherlands to the UK. Once inside, he killed a fellow prisoner, presumably from a rival gang. Anyway, he was released in 2007, but he was rearrested straight away for a plot to move more drugs into Jersey, which is one of the Channel Islands. So it's right down, it's the most southerly part. Jersey's weird. It's not, well, the Channel Islands are weird because they're like their own little thing. Right? They have their own laws and stuff like that. So it's like a tax haven. So all the rich guys, go and live there. But it's nearly in France, but it's owned by Britain. So he was jailed for a further 13 years. Now, why is Curtis Warren so important to what's going on now? Well, in all the time that he's been in prison, there's been a vacuum because he was the big boss. He was the rich, he was the kingpin. Freckles was the rich guy, right? Freckles was the one controlling everything. But now Freckles isn't in control anymore. And this is what happens when you take certain members out, right? You've got a big hole. And all the rival gangs then creates a ruckus. And it creates like a power vacuum. So what do people do best? They fight for power. And this is what happened. Thank you, Tessa, for the €19.99. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. It's very generous. I mean, organised crime works the same all over the world, right? If you take out one of the kingpins, then you have a whole range of like the next level down trying to gain power. So his incarceration left a vacuum in the city's most lucrative business. Those he trusted went on to found the Huyton crew. So the Huyton crew is the gang that's now the problem and the cause of Olivia's murder and other shootings in Liverpool. So this association of dynastic criminal families from Huyton, Dovecot, Stockbridge village, it's another suburb, were already in a position to exploit their international contacts. In the absence of Freckles, this guy, they quickly expanded control across the city and the rest of the northwest, using the ruthless violence to terrorize rivals into submission. The Huyton crew has been linked to jury nobbling, so infiltrating juries, to get people off, gun attacks, prison breaks, and countless murders. In 2009, a trial heard how their enforcers mistakenly, get this, I remember this very well, mistakenly left a grenade on the doorstep of Liverpool FC legend Kenny Dalglish. King Kenny even got involved. So Kenny Dalglish, an absolute football legend, right? Fun fact, Tilly, Tilly, her brother is called Kenny after King Kenny Dalglish. So, yeah, so they left a grenade on his doorstep thinking that the house belonged to someone else. They're not clever, these guys, right? They're not the brains. They might be rich and they might be pretty ruthless, but they're not that clever. So they created a problem for themselves when they put a grenade on Kenny Dalglish's doorstep. So Warren is due to be released. Now, judge officials expect he'll come out on license and he'll be banned from entering Liverpool. It will also restrict his ability to buy cars and property, borrow money, make transfers, hold trusts or shares, or use foreign or virtual currency. What will he do, though? He'll get everybody else to do the work for him, because that's what's been going on all along, right? Because the people that he trusted the most took over, developed the Huyton crew, which is now the problem. The organised crime world, which has grown up in his absence, is very different than what he left behind. There are 6 organised crime groups that operate in the area. So we've got the Huyton crew, who are the big guys, who think they're the leaders, who think they're they're the kingpins. But then you've got some others. So the others are vying for power. Okay. According to Dr. Robert Hesketh from Liverpool John Moores University, who has spent years researching Merseyside criminal gangs, North Huyton is very territorial at the moment, he said. Gangs include the Moss Heads in Page Moss, who are specialists in firearms. As a port city, law enforcement authorities in Liverpool have a long, hard battle against drugs and weapons flooding in, not only by air, but also by sea, because, yeah, they can get it in by air as well as sea. Hesketh said guns could be bought on the streets of the city for as little as £150 for poor quality weapons, with prices in the thousands for more sophisticated firearms. There's also an option to rent a weapon. If you want to go on Pow Pow, you can just rent one from a gun library. It's possible to share a gun, to hire a gun, he said. Do what you have to do, give it back, and there's no worry about having to get rid of it. These guns will be used time and time again with cheaper prices for those that have been used more often. So it's incredibly difficult for the police to track these guns because they're being hired out. Some guns, he said, enter the UK from Eastern Europe. He's also seen evidence of British military weapons ending up on the streets. One underworld source told the Sunday Times that the proliferation of untraceable weapons feeding the conflict in Ukraine has provided new opportunities for enterprising gun runners. So what they're doing is they're going to Ukraine, buying weapons for next to nothing and trafficking them into the UK. So they are completely untraceable. Increasingly, criminals are also sourcing guns on the dark web, whilst on messenger app Telegram, the Sunday Times found firearms advertised for sale from £400. And this is where we're getting this spate of shootings. Right, so this is what's happening in the city now. But I'll tell you that we don't have to use Ukraine. We don't have to bring guns in from Eastern Europe, because there's a local gun trade. And what they do is they use, they basically break into farms, like around here, Lancashire. I live in Lancashire, which is like one of the counties that borders Merseyside. They go to Lancashire, Cumbria, which is a county north of here. It's like the county in between Lancashire and Scotland is Cumbria. And they break into farms and basically steal guns, because you can, like, if you're a farmer, you can have a gun for shooting. Like you can own a gun in the UK. There are certain handguns that are illegal that you can't own regardless, but there's loads of guns that you can have as long as you've got a license. So they break into farms or other places where they think we'll have guns, and they steal them. And these guns then join these gun libraries where you can just rent them out. The going rate around here to borrow a gun is about £200, allegedly. Yeah, so they're completely untraceable. So they can think, like they can think that they can trace, the bullets. No, that's a dead end. They know that they can't do that. So this is the week of gun violence. It's not just Olivia that's been murdered this week in Liverpool. On August the 16th, Sam Rimmer, who was 22 years old, known to friends as Little Man Sam, died in hospital after he was shot in the chest while he was out with friends in the Dingle area of Liverpool. Police said that 4 suspects in dark clothing had fled the scene on 2 electric bikes. And you can hire electric bikes from all around Liverpool City. 3 men were later arrested in connection with the murder. I think there's another man been arrested now, actually. I think there's a 4th man been arrested. Then we've got Ashley Dale, a 28-year-old council worker, was fatally shot in her back garden of the Old Swan area of the city in the early hours of last Sunday, so just a day before Olivia was murdered. Police do not believe she was the intended target. Officers later arrested a man on suspicion of murder and a woman on suspicion of assisting the offender. It was the second tragedy for the Dale family after a half-brother Lewis was shot dead in Liverpool in 2015, age 16, in a case of mistaken identity. So these guys, as I said, they're not too clever and they don't care who they shoot. So if they've got a hit out on somebody, right, and it's somebody who looks like them, they'll just shoot them anyway. Like the guy who left a grenade on Kenny Dalglish's front doorstep. Mistaken address. These guys do not care who they shoot. That's what makes them dangerous, because innocent people are getting caught up in this gang violence. When there's hits out on people, if you just look like you're a looky-likey of somebody that they've got a hit out on, you've got to watch out. Then there's Olivia's murder. The intended target, Joseph Nee, was jailed in 2018 after leading police on a 125-mile-per-hour chase following a string of burglaries across Cheshire, which is the county Hold on a minute. So we've got Lancashire. It's the wrong side for you. Lancashire, Merseyside in the west, and then Greater Manchester, and then Cheshire's down here. Still in the north. Right? Cheshire's a bit posh. Right? If you're posh in the north, you live in Cheshire. So Nee was one of 5 brothers, infamous in the Dovecot area. We know the Nees are a bad lot, Peter Scott, an industrial cleaner, said. They've always been in trouble. They're always known for burglaries, robberies, etc., robbing cars, dangerous driving. But they are the small fry, right? The Nees are just people who think they're playing hard man, right? They're useful, right? Because they might courier drugs or sell some drugs, but they're the small fry, right? Social media post by a close relative of Nee, who was known as Joey, show police officers being abused and posts like snitches get stitches and F the Matrix, a reference to the gang-busting unit of Merseyside police. Late on Thursday night, armed police surrounded a block of modern flats in the leafy area of Huyton. So it's Birkdale Road or whatever I said before. Just over 3 miles from where Olivia was killed. And they arrested the 36-year-old man. Neighbours described seeing several marked and unmarked police cars outside, inside the gated complex. So this isn't a rough area of Huyton. This is a gated community. These are gated apartments. Armed officers trained their weapons on a flat as the suspect was taken into custody. And the other day we watched the drone footage, or the helicopter footage rather. Certainly didn't expect it around here, said Alex Peterson, 22, who works in hospitality and lives in the block opposite. He said he'd been previously joked that the street was least likely in Huyton to get stabbed, adding, it's on the way to all the fancy places. Sources say the chief suspect is a convicted armed robber who served a lengthy prison sentence for a raid on a security van. His brothers are also believed to be drug kingpins. Who is this guy? What is his name? I need his name. Okay, so he lives in Birkdale Court in Huyton. So if anybody knows who he is, let me know. Let me know. So what do you make to all that? That's where we are at the moment. Now, as I said, don't be too demoralised by people being arrested and then bailed, because what they're doing is shaking the tree, right? There's several people been arrested in Sam's case, and it won't be the only arrest we see. What they're trying to do, like, obviously these guys, you know, they'll just go into the interview room and will say, no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment. And the police can't keep them forever unless they get evidence against them. Now, it plays in the police's favour because a lot of these guys, they're just the foot soldiers, remember? They're not the kingpins. Right? You're not going to get the kingpins. They're living it up in the villas in Turkey or Spain or Portugal, right? They're sunning it up. They've got a sangria and they're just sitting there, right, reaping in all the rewards. But I'm telling you, if you're buying cocaine in the north of England, or certainly the northwest of England, ultimately, you are paying the Huyton crew. So the only way to stop these guys is to stop buying their products. It's the only way to stop these guys and move them out, ultimately, to stop buying their products. But what can you say? What can you say? I can show you a picture of no, that's just a generic picture. Oh, hold on, I'm not screen sharing, am I? That's just a generic picture, but I can show you the picture because I've got it on the sources of this thing, of this live. Oh, I've been demonetized. Look, I've been demonetized already. Not even finished my live and I've been demonetized. I mentioned gun too many times. All right, which source was it? Oh, it wasn't, was it? It was on Merseyside Police. Hold on, right, on Twitter. Oh, Merseyside Police post so much. Merseyside Police. That's Sam, who was shot. What's going on here? People living in the area where we've had 3 separate fatal shootings can expect to see plenty of officers on patrol. See, this is what we've got on the streets now. We've got armed officers patrolling the streets. Just because these idiots. You're not a grass. You're the person who can get justice. People need to start naming names. That's what they need. People need to start naming names. Well, that's a road traffic collision. Right. There we go. This is it. This is it. That's the apartment block. So this is Birkdale Court here. So it's on this side. So who lives on this side of Birkdale Court? Anyone in the area? I know, yeah. There are, yeah. They demonetize everything. Like live streams, like crime. They demonetize them before you've even finished your live. And then you have to appeal and then you wait days for them. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the flat. Got anything else? That's Olivia. So Joseph Nee, the intended victim, got a lift, left her dying and got a lift from his friend to hospital. And then the gunman ran away. So people need to start naming names. Name the names. We want the names. Oh, Gabby's Petito's trending. Basil Brush is trending. Oh, yeah. Oh, Basil Brush, great. If you're a child of the 70s, right, if you're in the UK and you're a child of the 70s, this was my hero. My grandparents took me to see Basil Brush live when I was about 3 years old in Blackpool. There's a fox. There he is. Yeah, let's knight Basil Brush. Sir Basil. Let's knight him. Oh, the weirdest things trend on Twitter, don't they? Gabby's, it was a year, wasn't it? It was the year anniversary for Gabby. Boom, boom, exactly. Yay. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. He was brilliant, Basil. I had a little dog a few years ago. He died now. He was old. He was called Basil after Basil Brush. One of my old dogs. Yeah, Gabby. A year yesterday for Gabby. So much death. What the hell? Dear me. Well, Basil Brush is on the chase, apparently. Don't watch the chase. I don't watch TV. Anyway, guys, there we go. That's the latest. He's very cute. He is. He's very cute. He's very cute. Oh, Orville. Oh, yeah, Orville. Oh, you guys, you've got to see Orville. Right, you've got to see Orville. Orville's good. Right, Orville. Orville. Orville the duck. Here we go. I've got too many things open. Hold on, let me just close some of these. That's Orville. Orville the green duck. And that was, what was his name? Keith Harris. So Keith Harris was the ventriloquist. Of course, Orville was the ventriloquist, and Keith Harris was the dummy. But yeah, Keith Harris died a while ago. Oh, it's more than 7 years ago. Anyway, that's Orville. Orville the duck. I'll tell you my favourite was, what was his name? Emu. Not the emu, not the bird emu. Rod Hull. When I was a kid, I loved emu. Oh, that's not a good one. Why can I not have a big picture of emu? There he was. There's emu. Oh, not even. There we go. Emu. He was very rude. Emu. He'd not get away with it today. He used to like attack people. But he was, yeah, emu, yeah. Didn't Rodolph die falling off a ladder? Have I got that right? I think he fell off a ladder, like doing some like work on his house, and fell off a ladder and died. But emu was great. Loved emu. Because he was so naughty. And he got away with it. He used to go on like chat shows and things and attack the host or attack the cameraman. And yeah, it was good. And he got away with it all. So I really liked him. Anyhow. Yeah. Who is it? Oh, it's Tilly. Oh my word. She's like flat on her back. Hold on. Whether you can see her. Look at that. Flat on her back. Did I like Benny Hill? No, I never liked Benny Hill. Fixing his TV aerial. There we go. Yeah, I knew it was something like really innocuous, and he fell and died. Who doesn't like Benny Hill? I'm not that keen on Benny Hill. He's not, or Kenny Everett. Didn't find him funny either. Mind you, maybe I was a bit young, like when Benny Hill was in the height of his fame. Maybe I was a bit young. I know, she's terrible. She, you know, that's her couch there. That's why it's minging. You don't sit on that couch. That's where Tilly sleeps. She was really upset when Max and Noodle were staying a couple of weeks ago. Max slept on that couch, like he took over that couch. Tilly was not happy. She really was not happy. And she wouldn't, when Max went home, she would not sleep on it. She would not even sit on it until I changed the blanket. Like, and I had to spray it and change the blankets, like to like lessen Max's scent. Would not even sit on that couch. Oh, Mr. Bean's funny. Yeah, I like Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean was great. I know, terrible. Springers with Cassie. Trixie Star's putting in Cassie and Tilly's links, I think. Oh, thanks. People have complimented my hair a lot this week. Now, at the beginning of the week, when my son went on holiday, I had to appear on camera with wet hair because I had a shower, washed my hair, and didn't realise that my son had packed the hairdryer. Like, he doesn't know that hotels have hairdryers, but no, he packed it. So I've not washed it since. So this is like several days of unwashed hair. And it's dried because I've let it dry naturally, it's dried very bouncy. It's getting a little bit greasy. But yeah, I've had loads of compliments on my hair this week. So yeah, minimal hair care. Like, not washed it because I can't dry it. Don't like letting it dry naturally because it goes all... It actually went really frizzy and horrible for a day. But it's quite sleek now. So yeah. Oh, for God's sake. I've not been following that nonsense. I have not been following that nonsense. I can't be doing with it. Like, I can't do it. I can't go there. I'd probably get loads of views. Like my Kylie videos, like, I've had hardly any views, like in relation to like other people who are covering this salacious aspect of what Ryan Upchurch is up to. And I thought at first, when he first got involved, I thought, yeah, great, let him get on with it. Let him shake the tree. Let him see what he finds. Let us see what he finds. Yeah, just crack on and do it. But no. It's gone really silly now. And where the views are in that case is what Ryan Upchurch is up to. And I'm not interested. I'm waiting for the autopsy. If we get any results from that, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not speculating anymore on it. The fastest milkman in the West, Benny L. Oh yeah, I remember that song. I can't play it because I'll get... Man, I'm already demonetized, so I might as well play it. Miss Tillington's channel is there. I think I'm too young for Monty Python. Monty Python was past its heyday when I was old enough to understand it. No, Noodle's not mine. Noodle's my daughter's dog. Well, actually, Noodle the puppy's my granddaughter's dog. But my daughter went on holiday for a weekend. She went camping. So I had Noodle, who was the puppy, because he was too young to go camping because he'd not had his injections. And then Max, because he was too old to do camping. So her other two dogs went with her. So I had Max and Noodle. No, he's not mine. No idea, to be honest. I don't really watch TV. I watched The Big Bang Theory for several seasons and then got bored with that. Oh yeah. Was it I think it was Parkinson, the Parkinson show, you know, like Michael Parkinson, where Emu like properly attacked him. And it was funny as anything. It's just silly, and I can't decide whether he's just doing it for notoriety, because he doesn't need the views, does he? Whether he's just doing it for notoriety or he genuinely really believes this stuff. But I don't want to be involved in it. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether he is. Whether he thinks it's funny. I don't know. I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame because he's got the you know, he's got the clout. He's got the he's got the views. He's got the subs. He could be a good spokesperson for true crime, but he's gone silly, gone ridiculous. I've just was supporting him at first, like let him get on with it. Let's see what he finds out. But no, can't do it. Cannot do it. Not anymore. We're all talking about comedy shows now. Because I've mentioned gun too many times. So there's certain words that flag up in the YouTube algorithm that it doesn't like. So that's why we abbreviate certain words like SA, because an RAPE, because those flag up and demonetize videos. So gun is also another one. Might as well just keep saying it now because I've been demonetized. So what you've got to do, so it's called limited monetization. So what it means is you don't get ads played on. You still get revenue from YouTube Premium. So when somebody has a YouTube Premium account and they play the video, you still get some money from that, but it's only like minuscule. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. So yeah, there you go. So what you do is you have to appeal. So I'll show you. Okay. All right. So this is the back end of YouTube. So my Olivia video from, it doesn't like murder either. So putting murder in the title. It's probably bad. But from a couple of days ago, it was Friday. Was it Friday that I did the, anyway, whatever. Friday, Thursday, whatever. When I did my last stream on this channel, that got put on limited. So video is unlimited or no ads due to content being identified as not suitable for most advertisers. It remains fully playable and I can't say that word, eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium. So what you've got to do is you've got to click on request review. So a human being actually watches it. So instead of it being AI, a human being watches it. But this is still under review. It can take up to 7 days. So in the meantime, that's not earning any money. I mean, I'm not bothered, to be honest. It's annoying. Like all of these that one got demonetized for no reason. That one did. I can't remember what other ones did. And I appealed and they got reinstated on appeal. But I don't think that will, and I don't think this will, because I've mentioned gun. So there you go. And then this one, I got a copyright claim on it because I played a tiny snippet from Good Morning Britain, which is a TV show, which was on Twitter. I played it via Twitter, but that got completely demonetized because of that. So whatever. I don't care. Whatever. YouTube's insane. There you go. Think we earn a fortune on YouTube? We really don't, because of all this stupidness. No, it's limited. Limited. So like I said, it won't play ads. But it'll get revenue from YouTube Premium. When it's yellow, when it's green, it's monetized. You get ads on it. But when it's yellow, it means it's It's only getting ad revenue from YouTube Premium. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's right. That's why we use unaliving oneself or taking your own life, because the S word is one that demonetizes streams. SA we say for sexual assault. RAPE we say. Just certain words. It's stupid. Yeah, you can't appeal. Once a human being has looked at it, you've not no further grounds for appeal. Weapon also could do. Like some people say pow pow. I've noticed some YouTubers, instead of saying gun, they say pow pow. But I can't. Can I say God? Yeah, I can say God. I don't see any reason why I can't say God. Say God. I've got YouTube Premium on my other account. I've got YouTube Premium, so I might play it a million times on my other account. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd hop on and give you the update on Olivia. I want to find as many names for these people connected to the Huyton crew as possible. See what they've been up to, and have a look where their layouts are. Birkdale Close. Let's just quickly before I go, let's look up Birkdale Court, Huyton. This is the one. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So this is where this dude, the 36-year-old dude, and there it is. Shall we take the little man down? Do you recognise this place? Nice little private parking area there. So it was one of these on this side. So I'm guessing that's one, that's one, that's one. It's one of these three. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe they just took him that way because the way it was parked. Oh, there's a couple for sale. Here we are. You should buy one of these and infiltrate the Huyton crew. So look at the area. See, it's just a normal street, normal area, just like any street in the UK. What's that pub called? Oh, it's not a pub. It's an offie. All-in-one convenience store. You're on camera. Hello. Just like any street in any town in Britain. And this is where the drug people are living. So that is, what's it called? Tarbrock Road. So it's Birkdale Court on Tarbrock Road. Round the corner from an accountant's. It's just a suburban part of the city. Near Asda. Asda is Walmart, same company, but we call it Asda. I don't know why we call it Asda. And then here's the coast. Birkenhead. There's Liverpool. It's the River Mersey. Irish Sea. Stop bringing me the dictionary. I don't need to spell anything. Crosby Beach is great. I love Crosby Beach. They've got the Gormley men. Can you see the Gormley men on here? Yeah, you can see the Gormley men. There's one. Crosby's great. I love Crosby Beach. Why can I not see any more Gormley men? That's sad. Anyway, I'm keeping you now. Keeping you now. Oh, there we go. Show you where it is in relation to like everywhere else. So there we go. Liverpool's there. I live here somewhere. So they're buying, they're stealing guns from Lancashire, Cumbria, selling them in Liverpool or renting them. There's Wales, Ireland. There's Dover down here. This is where a lot of the stuff's coming from the Channel Tunnel. That's like, it's only 20 miles. So they bring them over here or from like into France or Belgium or the Netherlands. And they'll come over to like ports on the east from mainland Europe. And then there's you guys over the pond. There you are. Most of you. 70% of my audience is across this little pond here known as the North Atlantic Ocean. Anyway, I am keeping you now. I am waffling like you would not believe. Yeah, they're not going to put their names on the electoral register though. That's the thing. Like you can choose to be anonymous on the electoral register, or they'll have someone who's the front who's either bought the apartment or who's renting the apartment, and then they'll not be the person living there. Same with things like council tax. Yeah, the statues. I'll show you. Hold on, I'm not sharing. I'm loads of personal photos in here. I'll just get you one from Crosby. Let's find one. Not been to Crosby for ages. Here we go. Here's Crosby. Okay. All right, that's my cousin's wedding. Don't want to show that. Okay. This is from 2013. I'm sure I've been to Crosby since 2013. That's like 9 years ago. Those are the Gormley men. There's like dozens of these statues. Like, they all look out to sea. They're great. And some of them are like buried now. They're like the Easter Island heads, which have actually got bodies. So soon these will all be buried, and then in like hundreds of years, they'll get dug up, and our descendants will be like, "What the hell were they doing in Liverpool?" Like, that's Liverpool. That's the docks. Liverpool there. Oh, I've got one out to sea there. There's one right out to sea. Cool. Oh, the Palm Bombers are back. Oh, Trixie's got them already. Liverpool's great. Great football club. Yay. They're very cool. They are very cool. They really are. Very cool. There's dozens of them dotted all over the beach. Oh, I won't put myself in any danger, don't worry. What are they going to do? They're great. Go and check them out. The Gormley men. Like the artist, the sculptor person, surname's Gormley, and I think they're like the him, like there's dozens of these sculptures of him out there. They're good. They're great. They're big. They're big though. I'm pretty sure I've got some photos of me with the Gormley men, but I don't know where they are. Anyway, I am going to go now, so I'll keep updating on this story. Oh, I just want to look up that guy, Robert. What was his name? Robert Hesketh. To have a look what he does. Hesketh. Criminologist. He's a criminologist. Liverpool. This is the guy who's been studying them. Studying these crime gangs. This guy here, he's been studying them. Dr. Robert Hesketh. I'm going to read some of these if I can get hold of them. So, it's Scout Soldier's Lad in it, an examination of modern urban street gangs on Merseyside. Joining gangs living on the edge. Grafting, the boys, just doing business. Oh, he's got his email address there. I might email him. Yeah, so he's the guy that's been studying these gangs. Guarding the shores. Yeah, they are. Reds or Blues, Michelle? Everton or Liverpool? Of course, it's got to be the Reds. Before I go. Go on. You've convinced me. Do you want a picture of Steven Gerrard taking a free kick? Hold on a minute. Nearly there. Maybe not. Come on. Oh, behave. I've definitely got it on this computer. Maybe I've passed it. Don't you just find it really annoying when people do this? Why can I not find it? This is irritating. Maybe you'll have to wait until next time. I'm determined now. Maybe it wasn't that game. Maybe it was a different game. Yeah, got it. Got it. Here we go. Not him. Him. Gerrard. Come on. Come on, Gerard. There he is. There's Gerard. Yeah, definitely the Reds. Yeah, connected to Dale Cregan, yeah. The gang that Joseph Nee is associated with, he's associates. No, Dale Cregan. Yeah. 2 police officers, like, lured to a house, reported, like, somebody breaking in or something. And Dale Cregan's just there and bang, bang, shoots 2 police officers, young women, for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Ah, very humble. You've read some of my papers, have you? Ah. Oh, thanks. There are statues like that off Tasmania in Jane Harper's latest book. I haven't heard of statues in the sea off the US. Cool. Where can they be read? I've got a Google Scholar profile. I've got a ResearchGate profile. Some of them are in the public domain. Some of them probably behind a paywall. I don't get paid. If you choose to pay for an article, I do not get paid. The publisher gets paid. But yeah, some of them are in the public domain. Quite a lot of them are, actually. Anyway, right, I'm gonna go. I said that like 15 minutes ago, didn't I? I said that 20 minutes ago, but I'm definitely going now. It is very, very heartbreaking. It is. People need to start talking. People need to give names up. There's the number. You can call Crime Stoppers anonymously. They ensure anonymity. The number's been scrolling across the screen the whole stream. 0800 555 111 if you're in the UK. If you know anything, if you saw anything, if you know who lives at that apartment or any associates of them, obviously they know, the police know who lives at that apartment, but any associates of that man, anything at all, then I want names. But more importantly, the police need the names. They need to nail this gang. They need to take them out one at a time. Nail them. Yeah, take back their neighbourhoods. Absolutely. Yeah, kick the scum out and keep them out. Keep them out this time. All right, guys. Thanks for the super chats and super stickers. Thank you, Trixie, Star, for modding. And I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.